Bridge Nation, how you feeling this morning? Hope you guys feeling good. And if not, we get them up and going, though, Jojo.
That's right.
Yeah, man. So right now,
that's our job.
That is it. All right, so right now, 6:46 in the AM, Bridge Nation. It's now time for the proverb of the day.
All right, so I'm gonna be reading the proverb of the day live.
All right.
When cocoa ripe, it must bust.
Morning radio, ain't it, Jojo?
Excuse you.
Jojo, morning radio, ain't it?
Duh.
If you're careful.
Exactly. So let's go again.
Yeah. Go on
when cocoa ripe, it must bust.
Right.
So that's right.
When cocoa ripe, it must bust. Jody, my mind.
I don't know where else your mind could be, Shelz. Where are you?
My mind got to the
You
meaning.
want to read the meaning?
Yeah. So the meaning for the proverb, when cocoa ripe, it must bust. It is easy to identify the intentions of an individual by his or her actions.
When cocoa ripe, it must bust.
You're gonna
because there's an action, there's an intention. You will see it. So when cocoa ripe, it busts.
Okay, so the ripeness of the intentions of the individual.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You go put yourself on these proverbs.
You must learn your proverbs and everything and keep your mind straight.
Never shake. That is it. All right.
You know what I mean.
All right, so that was a proverb of the day, Bridge Nation. Right now it's time for the pet peeve. And what are pet peeves? These are things that others do that you may find annoying, irritating, or even upsetting. And today's pet peeves coming from one of our listeners, Jojo.
No, well,
you?
Me.
Oh boy, here we go.
There is so much, but one of my biggest pet peeves are people with animals who don't take care of them.
Uh-oh.
Like, it's so. First of all, why do you have a dog? You think a dog is a figurine? You think animals are figurine where you just have them?
Yeah.
You don't feed them. You don't take care of them at all. You don't play with them at all. You don't give them a bath. Nothing. You know, but you interact with your dogs, don't it?
Yeah,
something. I have neighbors who I feel like they should not own their dogs.
It's like the dog them just look like strays, but them actually have a yard.
But them have a yard. Like how is that possible? First of all, you should be locked up.
That's true. That's how I feel.
Because
some first world countries,
how do you have a pet? That mean you not eat because not even the scraps the dogs them again. Skinny as ever, like them on the road, like them homeless.
Yeah.
Come on,
I get what you're saying.
So that's one of my pet peeves. Like when I observe persons having animals or they have dogs that will protect their space and not even look at food, not even look at turn car meal. Come now, man, do better. Take care of your animals.
That's true. And you know, next thing, speaking of dogs, I'm really like when people bother dogs for no reason.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You just see a dog and you kick him.
You kick him.
You know how much time you get in an argument for that?
We have like, stone off for the dog and all them things. The dog in them yard and you just walk past them gate and antagonize them like.
A child did that already. Did that now. So I was standing up watching him throw it. I went out there and said, I will flash you myself if you touch my dogs ever again. If you make a stone come over in this yard and touch a dog.
Yeah, man.
Go about your business.
Yeah, I understand that.
Sure.
I understand how you have a dog inside of the dog.
Yes.
Like,
and if the dog gets out and bite them,
yeah, probably.
have millions to pay.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, because what people need to know, dogs old grudge,
They remember you.
Yeah, man, people
good or bad.
Go and feel like dogs no hold no grudge, yeah? Yeah, man.
Yes, they remember you. So
I like that one.
My pet peeve.
That's definitely a pet peeve.
Take care of your
mine.
Animals.
Yeah, that's a pet peeve of mine too. As a dog dad. Set away. But thanks for reminding me of the shower part. Like, I was like, oh,
no, my girls don't. My girls will stand in rain.
That's what
so when them see the green hose come out, Shelz, Jesus, you can't find them.
Yeah, like a beat,
you can't find
All of them scatter, but once rain a fall, man,
everybody stand up mud, the water, and I'm like, but I want to get you clean now. No, let them see the hose.
Jeez, well, that is definitely a pet peeve for us as dog owners as well. When the dog them don't run up and down in the rain. Now, right now, it's us heading now into our first interview.
Yes.
And it's all about Stress Awareness Month. That's right, Bridge Nation. April is Stress Awareness Month. And we think it's important that we have a conversation about the importance of what? Managing stress.
That's right.
Now, people think they know about stress and its hazards, but without understanding the statistics and facts about stress, a person cannot fully grasp its effects. Now, at times, stress is a helpful tool capable of boosting energy and attention. Most of the time, though, stress is a negative force in a person's life that triggers a host of unwanted effects. Now, stress is a nearly universal human experience, so every person can benefit from learning about the condition. By understanding just how widespread and harmful stress is, and how a person can begin to take action against its effects. So this morning we have Desricka Gordon, who's a social worker and case manager within the Western Regional Health Authority, who will be helping us identify stress and how we can manage it. Good morning, Desricka. Welcome to Top of the Bridge Up and Go. Wagwan.
Good morning. Everything is good.
Yes, thanks. We're good. We're good. We're here. Now, Stress Awareness Month, Desricka. We have to ask the first question right off the bat. How would you define stress, firstly?
Stress can be defined as our mental or physical, emotional, and or behavioral reaction to anything that we perceive as demanding or threatening. So if for us we think that something is taking a toll on our bodies, then we can deem it as a stressful situation.
Understood. And how does stress, impact, our mental and physical health?
Well, some persons, they become extremely nervous. Some persons may even begin to show certain signs such as having diarrhea, becoming sick, having headaches. Yes. You get nervous when you have to deal with a stressful situation, having to figure out how am I going to work through this, how am I going to solve this problem. So you may end up having these little feelings. And not all the times these feelings are bad, because preparing for this interview was a bit stressful, right? So my response is nervousness, and my telltale, I would yawn a lot and stuff until I begin my interview.
Oh, so everybody has tells that can let them know that they're experiencing stress.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Now, when Desricka, when is it? Because we know that we all go through stress, right? We'll have stresses there, just like how you have the interview and explain that you were a little bit stressed out, the anxiety kicking in a little bit. But when should we recognize that it might be out of hand? Like, it's now out of hand, it's getting worse. It's not just anxiety, it's something that is bothering us actually every single day. Every minute we probably have to catch our breath because we feel like we can't breathe. So it's gone into the anxiety aspect of it now, when we know that it's out of control and it needs to be managed.
Well, you can tell that it is out of control when you're not able to carry out your normal everyday functioning, right? So if you were able to get up every day, get things done, and you are at this point now where it is a struggle just to even get out of bed, then you know something is wrong. If you're unable to sit down and have a conversation without becoming overly anxious, without being nervous to the point that you just want to close away from everyone, then you know something is wrong. If you are not able to function at work, if you're not able to deal with your children, your other family members, then you know something is wrong, and you need to seek help. Once your normal functioning is affected, you need help.
Okay.
No, and what are some of the common stress management techniques that people should really know and be able to apply in their daily lives?
Some of the techniques that can be used, you have visualization, you have guided meditation, and those are the exercises that you can do. So if I am here now and I am extremely stressed about my financial situation, and I'm unable to cope, then I can try to relax, practicing relaxation techniques, getting my breathing under control. I can do visualization, creative visualization. So sometimes when I'm doing my presentations, I'll say to persons, okay, close your eyes. Just imagine yourself being in a place where you are comfortable, whether it's by the sea, whether it's by a river, or it's just an open play field, right? Then you can fill that area with things that makes you happy. So if you know having your children around will make you happy, you can do that. If it's just a case where you want to hear the water, then you just visualize that so that your mind can be at ease, so that your breathing can be normalized and all of these things. So that's something that you can do. Other things that I would suggest, if you know that being in a particular area, a particular location, being around certain people causes you to feel stressed, that's one way that you can say, all right, I am going to manage this situation. How do I manage it? If being around some family members may cause me to be overly anxious, it gets me upset, then I can say one way to manage this is by avoiding these situations. I can avoid certain conversations, right? When I do that, then I am managing the potential stress that I may encounter by being around these persons or around certain types of situations.
Interesting.
Does that make sense? No, but hear this now, Desricka. You have persons out there, you know, as sad as it is, they don't even feel like they have the time to address stress like they're stressed.
You're
to some
correct,
people are saying that, yo, stress is part of life. You just get over it. And they don't even know how to tackle it, even something as simple as finding out, you know, this warning signs, you know. So if a person needs help, Desricka, where can they go to find help when it comes to managing stress?
When it comes to managing stress, for persons who are in school, you can speak to a teacher, you can speak to a guidance counselor. If you belong to a faith-based organization, you can also speak to your pastor, one of your elders, one of your leaders. But then you have, in the hospital setting, you have social workers, you have psychologists, so you can reach out to people. Even to go down to the police station, sir, I'm not feeling well, I need some help. Just ask for help, you know? But then it's, as you said, to realize that you actually need to ask for help. And for those persons who really don't want to interact with anyone, there's the University of Google and YouTube.
That's true. That is true. No, Desricka, my question is, as we said, April is Stress Awareness Month. Do you think our country, we've been doing a good job of, highlighting this very important month? And for this month, are there any activities? Is there a campaign going around so that persons can check in and be more informed?
Unfortunately, not to my knowledge, I'm not aware of any campaign that's going on right now. I'm not aware.
Wow.
However, there was something else that you asked.
No, I just want to know if you believe that our country, Jamaica, are we doing enough to highlight, such an important month?
Well, I think it's a work in progress. We may not have done enough, and I think there's always room for improvement. So if we can put up some ads, if we can have some symposiums, some workshops, then I think that is something that we can do or that we need to do in the schools and otherwise, because it's the entire country that is going through it right now.
Right.
Well said.
Desricka, before you go though, Shelz asked a very good question, and your response is that Jamaica, we really don't have any campaign or anything to create that awareness. But maybe it could be the relationship between stress and mental health, because right now we have garnered the attention of the importance of the discussion when it comes to mental health. But sometimes what happens is that persons are stressed and it leads to them having mental health problems. So is there that relationship, and how can we say, all right, if we manage, what could we put together? What kind of program could be put together? And I know this is on the spot, where we manage the stress so that it doesn't have to get to a point where somebody becomes mentally ill, because normally that's what happens. I know people personally who are what we call insane or mad, because of stress, because of what happened in your life. One stressful situation. Well, we Jamaicans say lick them chip, right? And they're no, whatever we call it, what it is. Well, that's say lick them chip, and now this is a totally different person. This person is mentally ill. How can we show the Ministry of Health or create that show them that, listen, it's because we manage stress poorly why we might have the increase of persons who are insane or mentally ill?
the fact that we have been highlighting the effects of mental illnesses, that is a good first step.
Yes.
Right? So if we continue with these campaigns, and especially if we do it at the school level, the church level, then I think it can do a great deal to help persons to identify their stressors, to have an understanding of what stress is and the effects of it and how they can effectively manage it so that we can somewhat prevent and treat the potential causes for some of the mental illnesses that we are familiar with and the other conditions that are there. So I think if we work from that level, from the school level, helping our children to understand what stress is, good stress, bad stress, do it at the church level, because most of our people go to church, most of, I believe. So if we do it there, you know, it will help. So it will cause, it calls for all of us. Once we have that knowledge, I believe that it is our responsibility to share the information. It is our responsibility to help to identify among ourselves, among our friends or relatives, that, hey, something is happening here. You need to get some help, right? So I don't want to say that we should leave everything solely to a ministry, right? I want to say as individuals, we all have a part to play. And if we all come together, if we are all willing to help, especially those of us with the information, then we can make a major difference. And then now at the community level, the national level, then we can put programs in place now to help with these issues.
Wow.
I agree.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you so much for the insight, Desricka. We really appreciate it, and have a good day, okay?
Same to you. Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Welcome. Bye.
All right, Bridge Nation. That was Desricka Gordon, social worker and case manager within the Western Regional Health Authority.
Right. And I'm so happy that
stress awareness. Wow.
Right, and it's so important that we have these discussions, and that's why Bridge Nation, you tune in here on the Bridge 99 FM, on top of the Bridge Up and Go. These are conversations that we need to have, and we need to let persons know, because we really don't know how to manage stress.
I didn't know that this was Stress Awareness Month.
Yes, it's Stress Awareness Month, and this is why it's just that Google is our friend, you know, researching. That's one of the things about being a producer I'm very grateful for, because you learn so much, and there's so much happening in our society that we are not addressing here in Jamaica. The world is kind of catching up, and it's having those conversations, and it's trying to assist, because even in the workplace, you see where we see where they're saying 4 days a week instead of 5 or whatever. But you understand me, depending on your job, it becomes stressful. And we as Jamaicans, I think we're known for working very hard, and sometimes we feel like we work ourselves to a pulp. And then we end up being stressed
and
out.
We think it's normal.
And we think that it's normal to feel the way. It took me a while. It's in my older age now. In my older age now, I'm realizing that the feeling that I've had for several years of this anxiety, this constant working, this feeling like if I don't work for a week, I feel I feel
sense of accomplishment,
workless, as feeling the fulfillment. And it's like, no, there's so much more to life than working.
And I want to tell you, I'm so glad in the university days I learned somebody. I don't remember the good friend, but the man come like a poet at the time. The man say, yo, bro, and about working hard, it's about working smart. Yes,
that's right.
People are working themselves on the ground
for nothing.
You understand me?
Yes.
But you know what help relieve stress? Some good music, though, DJ Arts.
I'm heading to Google in a little while.
But you have the remedy right at
that. Right, the remedy.
Way after them Arts. You don't know we have a guest right now. Abijah Livingston. But we know him as Asadenaki.
Wagwan.
Naki Wailer. Naki Wagwan. Wagwan, bro. Now, for those who aren't quite familiar with the voice and the name, Naki Wailer is the son of the legend, the late great, the icon, Bunny Wailer. You understand me? And of course, on Monday, we are recently celebrated the 76th Earth Strong of the Honorable Bunny Wailer O.M. I don't know Asadenaki, just there for go and honor his father's name, his legacy, and just let us, give us a little highlight on the happenings and all the activities. So yeah, Abijah, what going, Naki? Everything good? So Naki, here what going? I've always, as we know you personally, but I don't think I've ever asked you this question. You know what I mean? Well, how does it feel, bro? Being the son of a legend in the music game, and then being an artist yourself. You know what I mean? Is there any additional pressure when it comes to, carrying on the legacy?
Well, no pressure, just we have a duty. I mean, I will just fulfill that duty with to the best ability. You know what I mean? When I feel pressured, we just, I even feel more honored, because we are born to we're chasing purpose, I would say.
Yeah.
And, my wife has no purpose and move towards it, you see me? So, in this time, in this flesh, my purpose is to carry on the legacy and to build on it.
Right.
Which is right.
So on Monday, the Honorable Bunny Wailer was celebrated, right? What were some of the activities that took place, and will there be anything happening throughout this week as well?
Well, yes, we had Rootsman Skanking, 6th edition, Monday past, Easter Monday. And it was a great vibe. We did an art exhibition called Original Dandada Art Exhibition. And that featured the photographs of legendary veteran photographer Roy Sweetland. Mm-hmm. We also featured the works. It was curated. The whole program was curated by Leanne Mayer, a graduate of the Edna Manley School of Visual and Performing Arts, and she did a 7-foot painting of Jabi, and it was like that.
Wow.
Yeah, man, we unveiled that, and we also had paintings from students, her students at the Women's School for Girls, or Girls' School.
Wow.
Women's Girls, yeah.
Yeah, man, respect.
Big up
Women's Girls, yeah, man.
Yeah, man, and it was a nice vibe, and I want to big up the whole production team, the Rootsman Skanking team, big up the Ministry of Culture, Gender and Sports, big up JCDC, big up IRFM, big up Bridge FM, big up all the ones them that gave us the strength on it. I don't want to leave out Massive, big up don't want to leave out anyone. Yeah, big up Massive Distribution, big up Organic Heart, and big up Steam Team. Steam Team was the location. Steam Team, Steamers. I don't know if you know about Steamers, Shelz. You know what is a Steamer?
Yeah, man, we're familiar. We know the I'm familiar.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a good vibe. So Naki, why is it important, in your own words, as a son of a legend, why is it important for persons to understand who Bunny Wailer is?
Well, what he represents, Jabi, from his inception or from him start music, it's all about people. Mm-hmm. And then as the music progressed and as they grew, the Wailers, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and my father, they grew into the rebel, representing the rebels. Yeah. And Rastafari, the message of Rastafari is us black people having an identity and linking ourselves through Marcus Garvey to His Imperial Majesty, which takes us right to Africa, to Ethiopia, the unconquerable state. You understand? So it's really it's a knowledge and an understanding that my father really, his body of work, his catalog, is basically continues that message where you can talk about self-love, you talk about love of your woman, treating a woman like an empress, you talk about treating yourself like a king, you talk about taking out certain, what we call brainwashing or whitewashing out of your thought process and seeing yourself as, the God that you are and the king that you are, So long gone are the days where we say, we come from the lineage of kings and Ray. No, Sheldon, our generation, we know we are kings and queens, and walk and we talk accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I'm like Jabi for continue to celebrate music and messages like these. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It's just continuing to push that energy, in this generation.
Give thanks.
Now, That's awesome, and I really wanted to have you on this morning, Abijah, because I think it is important for persons to understand who the Honorable Bunny Wailer is and his contribution to reggae music. You know, what do you think we're doing enough as well, the music industry or the reggae music industry is doing enough to keep the history alive and for upcoming reggae artists to understand the foundation of reggae music and all the work that was put in? You think enough is being done to really keep that history on the forefront of our minds?
Well, I mean, I can't talk to if I think enough is being done, but I'm glad, like, for example, you're doing this now. Right, you felt like you have to have me on the show to talk more, to kind of, highlight something that is more, it's bigger than just the event that happened on Monday. So I really appreciate the interview, and it's just that I think what we should focus on is just, because sometimes it's easy for us to complain and say, we're not doing enough and blah blah blah, because more should be, we wish we see more, but what we could instead focus on is making sure it's done. Yeah. Because if we don't do it at all, that's a whole other thing. And big up to the Bob Marley Foundation, same with the Peter Tosh. Like what I would encourage is the youth them and the people connected to each brand to take on that responsibility of keeping it alive, keeping the youth them informed. It's not an easy thing to have to do this, but it's something that once you take it on as a mission, then it will benefit everyone and benefit the youth them, and we wouldn't have to worry about if it's being done enough, because everyone will be doing it. You know what I say? And I think I personally think Jamaica actually does, Jamaican artists and just the people in general, we like to listen to our foundation music. We don't shy away from it. I know a lot of people hear the new dancehall and think that's the same person who's listening to Don Check is the same person listening to Burning Spear and Barry Salmon and Marley's and the Wailers, and so Jamaican, we actually are blessed with that kind of mindset where we, you have when we are warm up the sound, you have the oldies, and that play, and everyone as a youth grow up knowing, we know the music, the culture of our music just naturally. So we don't have, I wouldn't say we shun our foundation. We just need to celebrate and highlight it more.
Yes.
Which is right. Now, Abijah, speaking of the mission, musically, what have you been up to, Asadenaki? Any new projects, anything we can look out for?
What's morning?
Well, you don't know where they are work on my debut album. It should be featured. It should be, sorry, not featured, but finished for it to release this year. And man, we did Rebel Salute with the Roots One Skanking. I have some shows being lined up internationally, but this year I'm really focused on the production of this album, and pushing in my version of the same message.
Nice.
Yeah, with I do it. We said Naki Wailer. No, Asadenaki is the name, but Naki is is a nickname version. Everybody call me Naki, just to shorten it. And so I figured, put the people them through. Everybody go on. Why am I gonna put the people them through? They did. Them just said Naki Wailer, and then as they come in, they will learn everything and learn how to pronounce the name and learn the history and everything. So man. So it's just we're reaching out to the people. I think that's something that even the way I'm. These new songs that I will be sending on to play.
Good.
I feel like I'm more, talking to my generation and the people, also talking to the foundation and showing what I would have learned from, same kind of subject that we're talking, bridging that gap, the bridge.
Which is
right. What I mean? Being the bridge with the music.
Which is right. Well, Abijah, we really appreciate it, bro, and thank you so much for sharing the insight and also honoring Jabi. You see me?
Yes, I am. I just want everybody to go check out the works of the artists that featured. I want to big up Father Leroy Sybil, Naomi Korn came through on Bonnet Dung, Alex A Game came through, I'm a Ruta Farai, CC Foster, artist from London. She actually was the breath of fresh air. Of course, Naki Wailer was there. He was crazy. And, it was a whole vibe. Big up to the team. Big up to Mama Aisha. Big up to the everyone that was involved in that. And we just want to say, just like Jody would say, man, just listen to music and go on meds up on the real, which is the foundation is love, you know. Everyone needs to just continue that. You know, you have to love yourself, love your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, everyone around you. Yes, sir.
Big up, Naki Wailer. Enough love and respect, bro. We link.
Every time, yeah, man, every time, bro.
Alright, give thanks. Alright, Bridge Nation. That was Abijah Livingston. Asadenaki Naki Wailer, son of Jabi, the great Bonnie Wailer. Big up yourself, Asadenaki. Apparently now we are live in the NYC.
With that said, let's see if we can make that connection with Kingston, Jamaica.
We're there.
Good morning, DJ Roy.
Hold on the Shelz, hold on the
Yeah,
Shelz.
man.
Who miss it to I guess it's my left and I guess it's your right.
That's my right. That is right.
Hi, DJ Roy. How you doing?
The boss is in the chair today. I don't know. So who's directing traffic?
The big boss over there. Sean is on the next end doing a good job.
What's up, Jody? How's it going?
I'm doing well. It's different on this end with you guys.
Oh, so you see the pressure that Shelz and Richie B
Yes, man.
under when you say got to break, no, take the break, no.
Sign language for kill. Jeez. I swear.
But it's always great to hear your voice, though. And,
man.
Shelz and Audley, and so where's Richie today?
You know, he's out handling
today.
Yeah, just out handling some business.
Yeah,
you know him there. In general, you know.
Forward tomorrow, Richie. Forward tomorrow.
Telling you, when I grow up, I want to be like Richie B, man.
But yeah, so how are things in NYC?
Oh man, let me say we're experiencing some really great weather.
Wow, nice. Give thanks.
Yeah, it yesterday was like in the 60s, and they're saying that we should be experiencing that again today. But whenever you see the landscapers are coming out and starting to, plant seeds and taking care of people's yard, you know that spring is definitely in the air. But I still take no chances until Memorial Weekend, which is the last weekend in May. I make sure there's a coat in my car. It comes out then and it goes back in Labor Day weekend. Like clockwork. But what's going on, man? Carnival in the air in Jamaica. What's the vibes?
It's that season. It's that season. You know what happening, DJ Roy? This year I'm trying my best, and thanks to the Bridge 99 FM, I'm hearing a lot of soca music. Big up yourself, Odds. I haven't always been a soca enthusiast like that. I'm not gonna lie. But I like what it does to women, so we're not gonna fight that.
All right then, okay.
No, I'm not gonna lie. When women hear soca music, them just can't stay still, and we love that. But Jamaica is a buzz right now, and that whole dynamic that we used to hear about soca just being for a specific crowd. I think this year in particular we're seeing some changes because some big soca parties happened over the Easter weekend. I'm gonna tell you, DJ Roy, jam.
Go on with itself.
All walks of life. So
that means Kirk now sleep at all.
Oh gosh, man. Can I tell you something? I was in St. Elizabeth. So that at the next side of the island. DJ Roy. Just chilling and I heard, someone say, that there's a party happening at Treasure Beach. So I'm like, cool, maybe we can feature it. And then they said, your brethren that play over there. And I said, my brethren? All of my brethren, them they're town. It's like Kurt Riley. I was like, no man, Kurt. No, Kurt.
Kurt is everywhere.
Kurt even Bill, man. Like anyway, the vibes there. Big up Kurt Riley,
Definitely. I was watching something on TikTok this morning, and it was very disturbing to me. A gentleman sitting in his car talking about a taxi driver from New York came down, and within 6 hours he was murdered in his home.
Yes.
I am a cheerleader for Jamaica 24/7. You know me.
Yeah, man.
First of all, I'm in Jamaica, and you guys don't even know I'm in Jamaica. I'm in Jamaica all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I'm a cheerleader for Jamaica, but it's getting too close to home, and what is it going to take? And I was saying to a friend of mine this morning that, all right, it's one thing trying to protect return residents and people that are coming in for vacation. But if you're not protecting the people that live on the island first, it's not going to sprinkle down to them.
True.
So the protection has to start, period, for all not just for tourists, not just for returning residents. Once you control that for everybody, I think that we'll get somewhere. Because he was saying, boy, now I got Jamaica, let's do something for the tourists. But they need to do something for everybody.
For the people, you're so right, DJ Roy.
Wow.
Because we feel it the most here. And the thing is, this is highlighted how bad Jamaica is getting, but when tourists come to Jamaica and they're being harmed as well. But like, we have to face this every single day.
Every day.
Every single day. Like, persons like us who have to come out of our house like when it's dark. You're worried because you never know who is watching you, what the plan is. So I think more needs to be done. I think they are too laid back. I believe that genuinely, that they're too laid back, and something has to be put in place to curb this crime.
Oh boy.
You know, I was also watching because we had another shooting here in America. And they were speaking to the doctors that was taking care of one of the officers that was shot, and he's critical right now. And he's saying that, you know, I'm a doctor, so I don't really know what to do. But clearly doing nothing is not working. So something needs to be done. And that's the same way I feel. I don't know what to do, but doing nothing is not the right thing to do. You know?
It's rough. It's rough. And you know what narrative I'm starting to dislike right now, guys, is the narrative when we speak about the crime in Jamaica. The narrative that I don't like is that when it's brought up, and I can imagine how difficult it is for DJ Roy Jojo being over in the tri-state advocating for Jamaica,
right?
And DJ Roy has to say something like, well, crime happens everywhere, so I hate that narrative.
Yeah, like,
I don't.
You're right.
Yeah, that's
that
so
doesn't
true.
make it any better.
That doesn't make it okay.
Crime a crime.
Crime a crime. It happens everywhere. So
come on.
nah. Let's protect Jamaica, man.
Yeah, man. Real talk.